I remember vividly when we were growing up, our parents used to literally tell us not to follow everything or everybody that we see or that we come across. Even if you had a tight group of friends and all of you hung together playing sports together, you went to school together, in many cases you were in the same classes together, all of that, we still knew to be individual or individualized enough to not go down with the ship if indeed somebody decided they wanted to sink. And our parents taught us that. Don't do everything that you see. Don't believe everything that you see. Don't believe everything that you hear. They were basically telling us to test the spirits. And they were also, at the same time, establishing for us a sense of what's good for us versus what's not, what's right, what's wrong, what's going to be beneficial versus what's not going to be beneficial. Our parents taught us, they taught us this stuff. And I know for a fact that we of my age range, of my age group, praise you, who are 52 years old, we who had parents like mine, and all my buddies had parents like mine, we benefited from that. I can see the difference now in the current generation, and I'm talking about basically, I can't even say just the current generation because it seems that some that, I don't know how to say this. You know, Aaliyah had that song, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. And, you know, the other part of that I believe is more in reference to sexual experience, access to sex, and perhaps even alluding to that alleged relationship she had with our boy from my home of Chicago, Robert Kelly. But I will say this, that phrase, age ain't nothing but a number, can be applied to a lot of things. It can be applied to people's lack of understanding or people's very in-depth understanding. Some young people have quite deep understanding, so it seems. Some older people don't. So I don't know what age bracket or what age range to contribute this sense of knowing how to cut off this whole follow the leader game, not following others to destruction. I don't know the range of that, but I'll just say this. Some people obviously have the ruach, have the spirit, the mindset to test the spirits, to know what's productive, to know what's beneficial, to know what's destructive and what's non-beneficial. I'm seeing, even within Yasharal, that there's also this same tug of war between the spirits of productivity and building compared to the lack of productivity and destruction. We are very quick sometimes to open our mouths and put our mouths on people and people's names, their reputations, their backgrounds, while at the same time building up others, not having really prayed, not really having talked to the Ruach HaKodesh to even get permission to open our mouths on these people. In fact, here's what I just got in my spirit, is this: work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. That's enough of a work in and of itself, because there's so much within this world that's pulling against us. If we, for example, as men are trying to be the men of the book that the Most High has designed us to be, trying to still have a positive influence, a positive hand in our children's lives, whether those children are in our homes or not, trying to impact this world in general outside of us positively, according to what Yahuwah is telling us to do. That's enough of a work in and of itself to where we really don't have time to be putting our mouths on a whole lot of other folks and other things. Now, of course, there is that scripture to cry aloud and spare not. I'll be honest, I need to go back and get the full context of that to know exactly what that relates to, because I know how it's been used historically in times past, especially within the church. But I know this, sometimes we take things out of context and use them for our benefit to support what we're doing. And when we put things within their proper context, and when I say things, I'm talking about scriptures right now. When we put them within their proper context, we get a whole other meaning. And we who are in Yasharal know that, because we have been fed scriptures totally out of context. And now that they are reframed, we see ourselves so much differently. So the caution here is, as we're seeing ourselves so much differently because the scriptures are now reframed, can we be mindful to not commit ourselves to the same erroneous ways as before? Ways that look like, that reflect us following the leader, but yet we're being led to destruction. I remember also as a young kid, I was in grammar school. KRS One, Father bless the memory of Lady Melody, all of them, a lot of the rappers from the East Coast, they had this cut, self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. It looks like even with all this understanding that a lot of us are getting, a lot of this unveiling of truths, that still so many are opting for self-destruction. We're so money-focused. We're so power-focused. We're so notoriety and fame-focused that Yahuwah is not the focus. And there's no way in the world that we are going to be able to make it out of and make it into what we've got to make it out of and what we've got to make it into, not being Ruach connected. And we are definitely Ruach disconnected when we're focused on money, notoriety, fame, tearing other people down, our own appearance, because that's the other thing I'm seeing. Y'all, let's please keep each other in prayer regarding this. I ain't nobody special to be putting out this type of message, but that's just what's in my heart, because I'm seeing some of the same fallacy that we participated in within the Christian church. I'm seeing some of the same stuff now having crossed over into what we call the truth, the awakening. Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? That's the question. We know the answer, but we literally have to walk in that answer. May the Most High, Abba Yahuwah, keep us and protect us even from ourselves. In Yahushua's name, so be it, and so it is.